for Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from mental health perspective. How y'all doing this morning? I'm doing pretty good. It is cold in cold York. I know that wasn't funny, but the jokes get a little less funny when it gets a little more cold because I feel a little less funny when I'm cold. Although some people don't think that I'm funny at all because they don't understand my sense of humor. I, let's get into some self-reflection. Good morning, chocolate. Let's get into some self-reflection here. Sometimes when people don't get my sense of humor, I'm able to just shrug it off externally. Meaning like, okay, I said that, you didn't get it, you didn't like it, you didn't think it was funny. Let me rephrase this. I don't care whether you didn't think it was funny. I don't care if you didn't like it. I do care if you didn't get it. That bothers me more than anything. Like if I'm saying something and there's a context behind what I'm saying, there's a meaning behind what I'm saying, and then somebody gets upset about what I said, and then I'm like, why are you upset about it? They're like, because you said this and this, and it meant this and this. And I'm like, okay, you got what I said in terms of you heard what I said, but you didn't understand why I said it. And one area, it's not even just like what I'm saying. One area is the fact that, like I said, I'm pretty sarcastic. So when I'm serious and when I'm sarcastic, when I'm making a joke, when I am trying to cut into somebody, it all sounds kind of similar. So I'm not gonna say that I'm an easy person to understand. I'm not. There's some people who have known me for years that don't understand me well. However, there's some people who've known me for way less than that just understand me right away. So maybe it's a frequency thing. So so I guess my whole point of saying that is sometimes when it pisses me off, if somebody took something that was in jest as something that was not in jest, twisted it around somehow, and then they got mad, but it was within the wrong context, right? It was within the wrong context. Then my next response might be snappy. Please, oh yeah, I forgot about the hype. Please all coming in the live, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hype the video. Hype the video up is the biggest part. Because I've just seen what hype points can do to a channel. I watched a channel that I follow grow from about 4,000 subscribers to about 22,000 subscribers in about a month and some change. And hype points were a big factor for that. So please hit those hype points after the video is posted. Okay, so that was my first topic, was just to talk about that. That was kind of a random one. My second topic, which I've already talked about a few times, Champ Camp. I was able to go online, and anyone can go online really, but I don't think anyone of you will want to sit there and watch it because it's very long. Like it's more fun when you're there than watching because it's so long. It was like 5 hours of footage, But I went back to watch my parts that I participated in Champ Camp, and initially I was so annoyed about my Champ Camp experience because I didn't win any of the competitions, and then I got injured on top of that. So I'm like, this sucks. I paid to come over here to Florida, compete in this thing. I didn't win anything. Um, so why did I come here? Like, it's not even just that I didn't win overall, because it's a long shot to beat that many people in that many different competitions. But just there was things that I didn't like about the structure and the setup, right? But now that my emotions are kind of mostly out of it, and I was able to just watch the footage and then watch my videos and stuff, I appreciate the experience more. Do I think that there's things that Jordan has to work on? Absolutely, but it was fun enough. Like, if the same thing happened in New York, I would have probably felt way better about it. I was just thinking to myself, like, I didn't just travel over there for fun. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to make an impression on people. But then when I looked at the footage, I think I did make an impact and an impression on all of the challengers. 'Cause even though, like, they all came and spoke to me at some point and told me they were impressed with my efforts, and I didn't win anything, but they all remembered me. So to tell you how this started, I walked in. There was supposedly supposed to be two teams, a red team and a black team, but I didn't know how it would be split up. It was just a matter of what time you got there. If you got there early enough, you got a red shirt, and if you got there after the red shirts were done, you got a black shirt. So I got there when the red shirts were already done. I got a black shirt. I'm on the black team. I'm thinking the whole black team is competing against the whole red team, but the black and red shirts and the teams only made a difference for the first competition. Now, I told some of y'all, whoever was on my lives, maybe some of you weren't. Hi, Vicky. That when I walked in there, the first thing that Jordan says is, black team stand on this side, red team stand on that side. Then he says, okay, black and red are going to be going against each other in the first competition. He says, black squad and red squad, each of you guys have to pick teams of three. You got to form yourself into teams of three. And we could see the competition. The competition was that one that I posted where you run under the hurdle, you jump over the hurdle, and then you jump on those things, I don't even know what they're called, and then you run up the wall, you stack a puzzle, you run back, and then your teammate stacks their puzzle on top of your puzzle type thing. So I didn't know a soul there. And there were some people who came there and they also didn't know anybody. And there was other people who came with somebody. There was other people who came with three people, so they had a full team of three to put together. Some people had a two and needed a plus one. I'm just running around. I don't know who. Like I'm trying to look and pick people that I think look like they would be good, but at the same time, if you don't know anybody, when I got there was people that got there a little earlier than me, and I feel like they were already talking and having conversations and whatever, forming like day one friendships and stuff. So they got like there was a few people I spoke to, but there wasn't many. So I just had like I felt like this is musical chairs. I was like, I don't know if there's an even number of people to get exactly three in every team, and I don't want it to be like you got to sit this one out or you lose points. Like I had no idea what's going on. So this this couple was standing there, and then they just kind of, hey, come here, you can go with us. And I was like, okay, great, I have a team. That's what I'm thinking. I have somebody that's on my team, so I can compete in the competition. That's my initial thought. So we're talking strategy. They said they've done one before. I'm like, cool. I have teammates who have participated in the first champ camp, so they kind of know what they're doing. They can show me the ropes, blah, blah, blah. We talk about the order we're going to go in. We talk about this, that, and the other. And, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. Then The first guy goes first. I go second. His girlfriend goes third. So when I went, or when the guy went, he did really good because he's done that obstacle before at Jordan's first champ camp. When I went, I was going a little slow. I was going very slow when I look at the video. And the reason why I was going so slow, combination of things. One, I didn't want to. I didn't want to get hurt. That's the funny thing. When I went out there, I said, win or lose, I don't want to get injured. That was like one of my main things when I went out there. So I was moving slowly to make sure that I didn't get injured. The first hurdle that I went over, I landed hard on my back. And contrary, despite the fact that I popped up off the ground so quick, my back still hurts today. And that was 6 days ago. So I was already working on an injury, operating with an injury. But yet I still beat the guy that I went against. The first guy beat his opponent that he went against. I beat my opponent that I went against. His lady lost at the end. I gave her a lead. She lost the lead. She did the worst out of the three of us, clearly. So then Jordan gets on the mic and says, everybody that was part of a losing team, he says, one of you, you have to decide among yourselves which one of the three of you gets voted out of the team. I mean, voted out of the game. I was like voting out, and then I'm like, I'm with a couple. That's the first thing I thought to myself. I'm with a couple. How in the world am I going to survive against a couple that is, there's three of us and it's like 2-1 vote can get somebody out? So I should have argued. I should have argued challenge style and been like, I came the furthest. I deserve to be here. This and this. I don't know if that would have made a difference, but it would have made it dramatic. But anyways, I guess I'm kind of like boring-ish like Horacio. So the first guy, the guy on the team that did the best, he was like, I clearly like I did the best out of everyone. So I think that because of that, that should punch my ticket to be able to go to the next round. I agreed because he did much better than me. He did much better than his girl. That's a fact. Then his girl starts talking really quick, and then I'm starting to get pissed. She's like, I feel like I definitely did the second best out of us. I'm looking at her like, are you crazy? Like, you cost us the game. You actually are the one who cost us the game. Talking about you did the second best clearly. I'm like, no, you did not. I said, I did better than you. There's no way I'm just gonna accept that. And then she goes, well, I think the person who did the best should vote out the person who did the worst. Oh, so is supposed your boyfriend is supposed to be choosing who goes between you and me? I'm like, I don't agree. I don't agree. Nope, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Because something that Jordan said originally is, he was like, if you guys can't decide, you all get an X. Like an X is, they would put an X on your bib. And he said, if you guys can't decide on one person that's going to go out, you all three go out. So I was willing to die on that sword. Because if the alternative was me like volunteering to go out, especially when I know I did not do the worst out of the three of us, I wasn't going to do that. So then the Reese comes over because everyone has a judge. Everyone has a judge like that comes over and asks, okay, which one of you three is going to be the one that is voted out? So Nerese is our judge. And Nerese comes over and she's like, what's going on, guys? Who's going out? And then the girl was talking to Nerese and was like, well, we thought about it. We think maybe we're thinking like maybe the person who did the best takes out the person who did the worst, or I think that I kind of did the second best and he did the worst. I was like, no, 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 right? And then so Nari says, it sounds like you didn't make a decision. So the decision is rock, paper, scissors. And the girl was like, rock, paper, scissors? This is terrible. Like, I suck at rock, paper, scissors. And I was just like, man, you look. I was thinking to myself, you're lucky we're even in a rock, paper, scissors situation. And I'm probably going to lose. And sure enough, I lost the rock, paper, scissors. I was fuming. I was complaining to every one of the challengers that would listen. I was talking to Cara. I was talking to Horacio. I was talking to Kylan. Like I was beside myself to get out on the first competition based on an argument and losing a rock paper scissors thing. But then they still let the people who didn't qualify for the final. They said game number 2 you get a redemption chance. Game number 2 was the rope challenge, like the one that Jordan did against Josh. And I tried to use that same strategy because like went against a really big, strong dude. And I'm like, I'm just gonna let him pull the rope really hard and then fall off himself, which I did. But then they told me I didn't win the round because the rope has to be I still have to have the rope in my hands. I just thought that if he falls off the stump, then I win. But apparently that wasn't the case for that. And then the third thing that I participated in was the one that I injured my leg, where it was this red light, green light thing, which was very cool, but I needed to have warmed up and stretched. That was my issue. Injured my calf. But I guess the whole point is, in retrospect, I love me some Champ Camp. In retrospect, now that I have been able to step back and think about everything that I did, I made a choice a month ago. I was like, I want to do something fun. I want to do something different. I want to figure out my finances in a way that I can travel over to Orlando, that I can participate in this event, meet all these challengers, compete in front of all these challengers. Matter of fact, even if I don't do another champ camp, even if I don't participate in another champ camp, I would still even like to go and watch the final. I feel like that would be fun because the final is fans going against challengers. That's what Jordan said. When he finishes it, he's gonna have some challengers going against some fans in a final. But anyways, yeah, like took a chance. I took a leap of faith. I went out there. I did my thing. I got a lot of love. I met a lot of new people that I think have been very cool to me. And aside from the leg injury, I had a really good time. I like it, and it sparks some inspiration in me because I wanted to do something like Champ Camp before I even knew Champ Camp existed. So Jordan basically showed me, going to his event showed me how hard it is to like put something like that together. Um, that's not to say that I'm not going to do anything else like that, but it is to say that there's things for me to consider. There's many things for me to consider. Probably insurance policies and camera crews, and because footage is important, and MCs and different stuff like that. Yeah, but that's all. That's all I got to say. What's the date today? That's all I got to say. feel bad that I have not been doing these lives as planned. These car lives are not really was not really necessarily my December plan. I had plans to do holiday themed, kind of lives, but it hasn't worked out that way because my life has really gotten super busy. But I will say it's gotten busy in a good way, and oh my goodness, I don't even want to put this in the air. I'm not putting this in there. Statement that I'm making is December 2025 was horrific. December 2024, sorry. December 2024 was horrific to where I can remember. I didn't even see there was comments. Sorry, y'all. When I saw you hit the ground, I thought, ooh, that's gonna hurt. It did. The ground hurts indeed. Badly. High Chiricity. It looked like a lot of fun. I did. Thanks for the reminder. Where have you been? Yeah, Chiricity. You've been missed on the channel. I'm doing fine, and yourself? Whew, it is cold. That's why my my volume and everything changed, because it is cold out here. Boy. It is super cold. You love you some. But you know what's funny? Like when I met Kylan, Big Brother, I didn't like him. I was like, I don't like this dude. Especially after his Xavier incident. I'm like, I don't like this dude. And even when I first met him, it's kind of like he's all right. But now after like being around him, not being around him, but meeting him like a handful of times, pretty interesting guy. He's a pretty cool guy to talk to. And I definitely liked talking to him at Champ Camp because him and Horacio were the two people who listened to me the longest as I was complaining about what happened at the beginning. And also Kara a little bit, and Leroy. Leroy is super funny. Leroy is like one of the funniest people I met in my life. I would go to a Leroy event. Like if he had his own event, I would go to a Leroy event. Life is lifing for me too, is honestly. The reason I always talk about how I feel bad about my page is I mean, I'm still on here sometimes, but really, I have specific plans for the page. I have specific plans for the page. And I haven't executed those plans in a long time because life is lifing. Life is life in. Sometimes you just survive. The best you can. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell.